watching. Yeah, like everyone's saying good luck and, you know, it's all together.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to Game 1 of the WNBL Grand Final Series here. Nathan Stremple is my name, and it's my privilege to call tonight's proceedings. The Sydney Uni Flames taking on the Dandenong Jayco Rangers, and I'm joined tonight by a couple of legends in the game of basketball. Sitting to my right, I have five-time WNBL champion and Basketball Australia Hall of Fame legend Michelle Timms, and to my left, I have two-time Olympic medalist Jenny Screen. Timsy, big game tonight. Here we are in Sydney. We're seeing the Sydney Uni Flames finish top of the ladder, taking on the Dandenong Jayco Rangers.
Oh, it's very exciting. This is the first time I've been in the new stadium. It's a wonderful stadium here. Plenty of people. There's still screaming here, and a super atmosphere. So already it's rock and roll.
And Jenny Screen, you were here a week ago for the semi-final series. You saw the Sydney Uni Flames up close as they took care of business quite convincingly against Townsville. What are some of the keys to Sydney getting the job done tonight?
Yeah, look, Nathan, they were pretty exciting 2 weeks ago. I saw a brand of basketball that was pretty great for women in sport in Australia. For me, the three keys for them going into dominating in Game 1 would have to be the possession game. Asia Taylor is dominating the league in terms of rebounds and that, and I think if they can get their guards on the glass as well, which they do in the likes of Tupay and Snelling, will be awesome. And then if we also look at the domination of Leilani, controlling the tempo of the game, and hopefully they can also lock down defensively in the transition game of Dandenong, which they're renowned for in the likes of Steph Cummings and Ton Hunter running the lanes.
And you talk about controlling the glass, Asia Taylor and Jen Hampson, both top 6 in the league in rebounding. That battle on the glass is important. Asia Taylor, some games renowned for foul trouble, though. It'll be really interesting. Blitzars and Taylor both have the habit sometimes of getting early fouls. Them being out on the floor will be important. Michelle Timms, talk to me about some of the keys for the Dandenong Jayco Rangers to get the job done tonight.
I spoke about the glass, and I think that's really important so that Dandenong can get into their true game that they love, and that's the run and gun style. But to do that, you need to win possession. So winning the glass is important for them, but most importantly is getting out and running and trying to get some easy buckets and not getting clogged up in the quarter court. I think another thing that's feeling good for them, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Larissa Kavanagh's. Well, it's not Kavanagh's.
She got married somewhere in the last little while.
I had a couple of kids on the way. But I can't wait to see their game plan on how they defend the on-ball, because Sydney, and when you've got one of the best point guard in Australia running the show, obviously going to run a lot of on-balls, and it's all causing teams grief. And I think that's one of the keys for Dandenong on how they plan to defend the on-ball.
Well, let's talk about that a bit. Leilani Mitchell, absolute elite player, that coming off that on-ball screen. Dandenong Jayco Rangers know they're going to get a steady diet of on-balls all night. Jenny, how do you think they need to go about guarding it? Do they look to double Leilani coming off? Is it a case they help them recover? Do they mix it up and junk it up somewhat?
Yeah, look, I think Larissa's probably got some strategic plans in place, and we'll see that unfold in the first quarter. Steph Cummings is, the defensive player of the year from last year, and she's no silly person in terms of defending the on-ball. So I think if they can be aggressive at the start, maybe look to trap, as you suggest, and get that done early on in the game, it might lead to some good steady basketball and hold for a good lead.
And for mine, Leilani Mitchell's the key. If she's the best player of the series, if we see her winning the Rachel Sporn medal,
that's what I was going to say. That was my third key.
Sydney go and get it done.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. It's about limiting her catches, I guess, causing her a little bit of grief, making her feel uncomfortable. And I think, like you said, Screeny, through the on-ball defence, mixing that up, I think that little Todd Hunter's done a great job the last 3 games against Whitcomb, except for that second game where Whitcomb went off. So she's had preparation having to defend, key players. So it's going to be really interesting to see if she can disrupt Leilani Mitchell's flow.
We're coming at you with live action tip-off just moments away. Leilani Mitchell, key to the series. For mine, I hope to see a lot of Dandenong trapping her off that on-ball. Sydney look to play Leilani often, that she doesn't come out all games. So the more that they can put pressure on her defensively, also attack her offensively, and make her have to guard penetration, whether that's an Amy Clydesdale and getting at the rim, and make Leilani play some D.
I think that's a crucial point, but I'm also looking for that X factor. And for me, 2 weeks ago, Alex Wilson absolutely dominated. She led from the front for the Flames, and she had 27 points. I think we can't underestimate her, and we need her to step up today in the hopes for Sydney to come away with the win.
Well, there's 5 players on each side looking to step up right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your 2017 Grand Final Series underway. First possession going to the Sydney Uni Flames. Leilani Mitchell, that we talked about, controlling the ball early, and there's your girl Alex Wilson, Jenny, looking to get involved early. And here's the battle we mentioned, Asia Taylor v. Sarah Blitzar. Taylor too strong early.
Yeah, great poise there by Asia. The thing that she has to be careful of is she doesn't get too excited and get into foul trouble early in this contest.
And 2 contrasting styles. You're going to look at the JK Rangers pushing the ball. Ali Malata, confidence builder early. Her offensive productivity has been down over the final series. She'll like getting that one up. She's had a couple of big games against Sydney throughout the year. Sydney much preferring to run this half-court offense. We'll see them looking to slow the tempo throughout the game. Wilson coming off the handoff. Asia Taylor again aggressive on the glass. The finish for Taylor makes it 4-2.
The penetration of Wilson is quite good to watch. I think that's lacking in Australia's basketball at the moment, and I think if we can get her and other likes of Snell, Cummings demonstrating right now for Dandenong, that penetration is crucial. And also is the possession game, Nathan, from Amelia Todd Hunter.
Amelia Todd Hunter get hands on it, unfortunately unable to control it for the Rangers, making it 4 apiece. Sydney Uni Flames will get the ball back. Frenetic pace early here. Big crowd out here too at Sydney Uni, getting around their Flames. Michelle Timms, the 2.
Haven't been able to get a word in there. It's been frenetic all right on the sidelines as well. I just love that we've had penetration, like you said, and both those baskets. Been at the basket.
Asia Taylor's been big early with a couple of buckets. Looks at Sarah Blitzar trying to step up to stop her as the veteran Belinda Snell goes and gets the basket.
Well, they're all trying to attack each other defensively. They obviously think that neither of them are great handling penetration, so they're attacking each other very well at the moment.
Steph Cummings
shot
looking
there
to
by
get the rim
Cummings.
again. 6'7" of Jen Hansen to try and get over. Steph Cummings mixing it up defensively. She's picking up Mitchell at the floor. Alex Wilson aggressive to the rim. No basket for her. The Rangers again looking to push the tempo via Blitzar's pass. A little too much heat for Ali Malott. The Flames will get the ball back.
Right idea there by Blitzar's, I think, to push in transition. That's something that Dandenong is renowned for. Just steady on the pass in the next round, but something to continue with.
Few nerves with the grand final. Jaco Rangers with a number of WNBL championship players, more so than the Sydney Uni Flames. Is that a factor going in tonight, Timsy?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
She's tuned.
I'm into the game right now. I can't quite hear you in these. So.
Yeah, it's very loud here at the stadium as we see Taylor and Blitzar's going at it. Blitzar's doing a great job defensively that time to restrict Taylor the opportunity to finish. I did say, ladies, the JK Rangers with more championship players than the Sydney Uni Flames. Is that a factor, grand final experience going in?
I don't think so. You look at the players that Sydney have. Leilani's the best point guard here. You got Snelly, who's won a gold medal at the World Championship. Another penetration. Getting back to your point, I don't think it plays into this equation right here today.
Sydney Uni Flames need to take care of that early on ball. The JK Rangers need to take care of the paint. Jen Hansen too big, too strong there for the Flames.
Yeah, she's actually surprised me, Hampson. I think she does well. She's got soft touch around the basket. Not the quickest player in playing in women's basketball, but plays her role very, very well.
Ranger fans will like to see that. Sarah Blitzarve so hard to handle when she's going at the rim, not settling for that jumper, attacking Aisha Taylor. The Rangers get the ball back, and now it's Amy Clydesdale getting to the rim. Soft touch on the finish brings it back to a 2-point game.
If we keep this up, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a real high score. At the moment, no one really being accountable for defending their own man at this stage.
This fast
Another
tempo,
take.
this up and down, Timsy, who does it suit better?
Well, I would say, and at the start I thought it would suit Dandenong better, because that's how they're used to running. But at this stage, it's Sydney's, handing it to them just as much as Dandenong back.
Sydney consistent early with the fact that the second most productive offensive team in the league, average 80 points a season. Nice roll to the basket. Sarah Blitzarve to open her account for the Rangers. Fascinating battle between Aisha Taylor, Sarah Blitzarve, both of them equal fifth in the MVP voting this year. They'll take a bit of pride on the line as they go at each other tonight. Both of them love to attack the hoop aggressively. Taylor no joy that time. Blitzarve pushing the tempo for the Rangers. Again, the Rangers looking to get in the paint off the dribble. Malott with the triple. Slow close out from Hampson. Offensive rebound, Amy Clydesdale.
I just thought that was a great shot. They needed to move the ball and get into something. That was just one pass and shoot.
Steph Cummings been big for the Rangers in the semi-series.
Nice there. She recognised the mismatch in having Hampson on her and attacked it really hard. I'm sensing it's really quiet out in the court. It's like almost they're going through the motions a little bit. I know we're attacking the rim hard, but I want a little bit of fire coming. It's the grand final of the WNBL, best of three, and it's a little bit lackluster for me at the moment.
Maybe some nerves early. Nerves amongst the fans as well, possibly. Hampson turns that one over. Ball game's tied up. The Rangers looking to push. The Flames maybe making an early sub. We see Talia Tupaya come to the bench to signal her intention to get in the game. Cheryl Chambers not happy with something out in the court. The Rangers now running their half-court set, one of the first times we've seen it this game. Blitzarve's looking at the triple. That one's short. Hampson too big on the glass. Leilani Mitchell just controls it, pulls it back. Her jumper doesn't go as she looks to open her account. Rangers again choosing to push. Blitzarve gets to the rim, finishes over Taylor. First lead of the game for the Jayco Rangers. Interesting, the Flames using the opportunity to spell Mitchell by getting Taylor to play that point forward.
Yeah, I think they're trying to exploit her and attacking the rim. Or pointing an example there with the jump shot. And maybe trying to go at Sarah and get her into foul trouble early. As
predicted before the game, that'll be a great matchup to watch. Both doing a great job of the offensive end. As Ali Malott, just a little bit of confidence back, fading out of bounds.
Yeah, I mean, we're 4 minutes in. We're 12-14. Easy penetration yet again by Taylor, showing her athleticism early. I'd really like to see some lockdown defense eventually towards the end of this first quarter.
Both Taylor and Blitzarve's doing a great job of scoring. But
if anyone can play any D, I'm going to throw a party, because right now, as a coach, you've got to be so frustrated. No one's playing any D, able to play any good D to lock these players down.
We're 7 minutes into the game, not even. 14 apiece, high scoring so far. The Flames this time running in transition. Too quick, Jen Hanson down the floor on the trail. She finishes on Ali Malott and the foul called. And there we see a timeout. Called high scoring early, Timsy. 16-14. The Sydney Uni Flames with an early lead. Timsy,
it's been a crazy pace, mate. It's crazy pace.
Hardly had a chance to breathe.
Yeah, they're getting runs on the board. So it's 16-14. They're scoring, but I just don't think either coach is. It's going to be all about the defense in this in these timeouts. Absolutely, for sure. Some of the shot selections too. I mean, some of the especially Dandenong have taken have been like, guys, just slow down. You need to run some sets, get through something.
We talked about that fast pace suiting Dandenong. Let's jump back to the Sydney Uni Flames here. They come in, they haven't won a grand final for 16 years. 01, their last victory. They haven't been to the grand final since 08. Prior to that, they had 6 losing grand finals after 01 in 7 years, and they now see them back in. Is there a bit of pressure for the Sydney Uni Flames coming in?
No, absolutely not. I don't think they don't look back at that at all. I don't think. As a player, you wouldn't worry about the past. You're here living the moment.
Jenny Screen was over listening into the Sydney timeout. Screeny, what did you make of their timeout there for the
Yeah,
Flames?
look, Cheryl spoke very much about their defence and they're not sticking to task. She wants to make sure they're forcing left. They're hugging their players on the weak side at the moment. She wants them to step off because all they're doing is attacking the rim. There's no outside shot. Make them want to shoot the outside shot first. So they're locking down on team defence at the moment. Yeah,
and then if you look at Larissa Kavanagh, that was their game plan. They wanted to put the ball on the floor and attack at every opportunity because I think laterally they probably think that Sydney aren't great defensively. So from that side of things, that sort of the game plan has been effective. But I'd like to see them get the ball, get a change of sides, get some players touching the ball, and then attack.
Michelle, we talked before the game about the Dandenong bench. We talked about Jacinta Kennedy and Nat Novosel and the keys they were. We see them into the game for their first minutes.
Yeah, and we see Sydney going into a zone.
Jacinta Kennedy there looking to get at the rim. Just a little hands in there. The foul called. She'll get herself a couple of free throws to get going. That foul called on Belinda Snell with her hands there. Jacinta Kennedy's going to shoot 2.
Jacinta Kennedy, for me, it's just an amazing story, isn't it? I mean, she left the game in 2006 as a gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games with the Australian Opals and decided to become a mum and support her husband, Josh Kennedy, as he, travelled the world in his career as a Socceroo. And now, 10, 12 years later, with 3 children, she gets to play in a grand final, and which will be her last grand final.
And what a great story. 3 children and 3 championships. Won 3 straight, one with Canberra, then won 2 with Dandenong. And now she has a chance to make it a 4th at 34 years of age.
And you know what?
Sorry, Screeny, but that's what I'm talking about on ball defense. We just saw the Silky Mitchell. She stuttered. Todd Hunter went over, and then Mitchell just attacked. That was beautiful to watch.
Smooth hesitation dribble there for Leilani Mitchell. Straight back to Jacinta Kennedy. She contests on the offensive glass, gets the ball back for the Jayco Rangers. 2
old dogs fighting for the same bone on that one.
Love it.
Snelly and, no, please don't take offence, people at home. But yeah, you talk about Jacinta, you can also talk about Snelly. Her longevity in this league has been fantastic.
Absolutely.
And, I attribute that to, she really takes care of her body. She's really, body's her temple type of girl with her agility and the way her attention to her footwork and trying to maintain quickness.
Absolutely. I like you said, it's a credit to her, and she's almost been in the game for 20 years, not only in Australia, but played 8 years overseas in Europe, winning multiple championships. It's great to see.
We just talked about the longevity of Jacinta Kennedy. The last championship for the Sydney Flames, 2001, Belinda Snell was there, part of that team. We'll see her now. 16 years later, someone who's only just past 16 years of age, Charlie Mateo getting the finish.
I actually really rate her as a player. I think she's a great role player. Probably has the potential to grow and dominate more in the WNBL and maybe push eventually one day for Opal squad selection.
Wow, that was tough.
The mismatch gets Hanson out of her shoes. Tough finish from the mid-range.
You look at this defense. The last time down Sydney, Dandenong had great split line help, but they just weren't able to, as I said before, win that one-on-one contest. That's a better job defensively, but just a fantastic finish by Wilson. But that's better defense by Novosel.
Nathan Stemple with you here, joined by Michelle Timms and Jenny Screen on the call. We hope you're enjoying the action. High-scoring first quarter in the WNBL Grand Final, Game 1.
Whoa.
As we see a foul off the ball. Great to see Olympians joining in the conversation via Twitter. Mark Worthington with a shout-out. I did talk to him earlier today. He said as well, Leilani Mitchell, his favourite for the Rachel Swan MVP in this series. And as you ladies said before the game, the key to the series.
Yeah, she's just smooth. She's nice to watch, and she's actually a great team person and awesome to play with. She's been a great addition to Australian basketball.
And how lucky was Sydney to pick her up, because they actually picked her up really late. Like, just fancy that. Late on recruiting. And that story there is amazing. They get to pick up and recruit the #1 point guard in Australia.
It's not bad. You saw Cheryl Chambers talk about an interview just a few weeks ago. Said Chapea was hurt and we didn't know we were getting Mitchell. Obviously, Katie Ray Ebsbury in their side last year. She chose to go and play in Europe. Nice little to get Mitchell in the team.
I love Novacell. She's a Miss Fix-It, and seeing her and Kennedy on together with Todd Hunter, they're blue collar.
Absolutely, and a nice story. You know, does her knee, ACL, battles hard, comes back, and able to contribute.
And even this season, early in the season, had some issues still with her knee. She's made such a difference coming back in the Rangers lineup, and just so solid, consistent for them off the bench.
Nicholson opens the account from the promised land.
That was just a breakdown in communication there in that zone.
Talking about consistent off the bench, Sinead Graves in the game for the Flames as well. She's been a great role player for the Flames this season.
Last 15 seconds of the quarter. Sydney with the ball.
Ball in Leilani's Mitchell's hands.
Nice hand there by Sino.
Early though, the Rangers now get a look at it. Novacell pushing the tempo. Finds Whitsars on the wing. A nice look to end the quarter. Doesn't go though, so that brings us to quarter time. Frenetic pace to start the game. The Sydney Uni Flames 26 leading the Jayco Rangers 22.
That just wasn't good time clock management by either team then. So, neither coaches be happy with the way that ended.
Michelle Timms, the
Nathan.
first quarter's come and gone, and here we are. What do you make of it? We've commented several times about the pace. 26-22 is a heck of a high-scoring game. It's been fun to watch. What do you make of the first quarter action?
A bit of madness, really. It's hard to get my head around. It's just a bit undisciplined defensively. That's a big thing for me. I mean, I look straight at the defense, and neither team's going to be happy with the defensive efforts of either team. And I think that even though you go to a zone, you still play man-to-man when your man has the ball. So defensively, a bit of work to be done by either team. But if my maths is correct, that's over 100 points right there we're looking at for both teams. And that's a really high scoring game in the WNBL. So defensively, both coaches will be once again really locking in about the defense and making sure we're moving our feet on the ball. Like I said earlier, Sydney had Dandenong had the numbers on the split line, but Sydney just blew by them anyway. So defensively, it's a real concern for me, for both teams.
Now, we talked before the game about the tempo. No doubt this one, super frenetic pace to start the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a chance to look at some of the numbers so far, Michelle Timms, because I'm interested to see what you think of the story of the numbers and what they've told so far as we see a few young dancers. A massive dance troupe actually out there putting on a show for Sydney Uni. What do you make of the numbers so far, Timsy? What story does that tell? While you have a look at that, and hear from Jenny Screen, who heard the Jayco Rangers quarter time.
Larissa spoke about the domination of Hampson and Taylor, both with 10 points apiece. Basically, 6 points left over for Sydney. They talked basically the same story as Cheryl was talking about for Sydney in terms of defense, team defense, being on the split line, containing people, making sure that they're playing collective Team D and getting that done and stopping.
Collective Team D, and we see the scorers, as you just mentioned there, Jenny Screen coming out for the Sydney Uni Flames. 8 points to Asia Taylor, 7 points to Jen Hampson. That'll be way too much. The Jayco Rangers pride themselves on their defence. We'll see what adjustments they make now as we're back into second quarter action. The Flames swinging the ball around as we thought would be the case before the game. Look at their half-court set. Nicholson's hit one. Can't get the second to go. Great seeing Blitzars and Taylor going to battle on the glass. Sydney able to come up with that offensive rebound. Travel though, ball going back to the Jayco Rangers. What do you make of those numbers, Michelle Timms?
Let me just have a quick peek, Nate. I'm sorry, once again, not doing my job. 3-point percent. There's only been, Dandenong 0 from 2 from 3-point line. Sydney Uni Flames 1 from 1. Possession game, 9 boards to Sydney Uni, 8 to the Rangers. There's not really much in the stats, mate, when they're shooting layups.
Rangers have been forced in a half-court set. Steph Cumming has a look at the 3-ball. Nat Novacell trying to disrupt Tupea on the rebound. Sydney now controlling the tempo. Again, they go to Asia Taylor on that point forward. Aggressive on the penetration. No look pass. Ends up as a turnover. The Rangers pushing the other way. Sarah Blitzar's pulling up a bit gingerly. Looks like it might just be a knock, though. Able to shake it off somewhat and get back down on offense. Amelia Todd-Hunter.
Good shot, good look.
Oh.
There's nothing like an
Great pressure by Todd-Hunter.
And causing the turnover by getting after the offensive rebound. Amelia Todd-Hunter has been second only to Jacinta Kennedy in the Jayco Rangers rebounding throughout the semi-final series.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about it at the start of the game in terms of possession, and rebounding is one of those. That's a controllable and something you can do, and it's effort alone. Wayward pass there.
Talk about
Off
possession
to the
turnover,
races.
Tupaya with a layup. In a game that's so tight back and forwards, those easy baskets mean so much. Jayco Rangers into their shuffle offense now, the first and thirds. Blitzar's looking to attack off the wing. That's when she's at her best. Sarah Blitzar's finishing on the rim, bring it back to a 4-point game.
Yeah, that was a nice hold in that cut. That's obviously a play to clear out for Blitzar's. She had Tupaya on up.
And good signs for the Rangers. Blitzar's at her toughest to guard when she's aggressive at the rim like that, as opposed to settling for a mid-range jumper.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned earlier, Nate, we haven't seen her in the final series. She hasn't really hit her stride, I don't think. As she does on cue, hits her stride. I think this running game, in the long run should favour Dandenong because you think that Leilani Mitchell won't be able to play that many minutes at this fanatic pace, and that'd be a real blow to Sydney Flames if Cheryl Chambers has to rest her. And she averages about 37 minutes a game.
And just a little victory in that personal battle between Sarah Blitzars and Asia Taylor. Asia Taylor, as she shoots the three, 2 possessions prior to that, 2 turnovers for Asia Taylor, 2 possessions for Sarah, 2 baskets for Blitzars. So a little personal victory as Steph Cumming gets a look from the promised land. No joy for Cumming. The Flames slow that tempo down through Leilani Mitchell. Leilani directing traffic. She's not fazed by the big stage. She's played internationally. Bunch of experience at Olympic Games, World Champs, WNBA. As expected, controlling the tempo for the Flames of Tupaya. Wet on the triple.
I thought Hampson did a good job then of pushing down because she knew that the defender Novosel was going under. So she really stepped down and it made it quite an easy shot for Tupaya. A good range shot for her.
Foot on the line there, though, for Tupaya. Worst shot in basketball, the long 2.
Yeah, nice pass there by Todd-Hunter and finished by Kennedy.
If you're going to foul that, you're going to foul that when the ball's down, so there's no chance of getting the ball above the rim.
As we're seeing the replay there, Tupaya just not enough on Jacinta Kennedy. She finished. She'll get a bonus free throw to bring it back to a single point. Hampson out of the game now, changes the look for the Flames. They go with a small ball lineup. You see Taylor really in the 5 spot for them and Snelly probably playing a stretch 4 for the Flames. Be interesting now how the Rangers match up because the Flames have gone small. Who does Jacinta Kennedy guard? She goes to Lauren Nicholson. Not an ideal matchup for her having to close out on the perimeter.
No, not ideal, but the thing with Kennedy that she has is length. So she can step off a little bit and rely on her length to help her out defensively.
Asia Taylor started the game really well, was a weapon for the Flames getting the hoop. We've just seen the last few times Taylor a little bit scattered, couple of turnovers. That one almost another turnover. Hand by Novus who gets the ball back to the Flames.
Blitzarves is doing a really good job on her, so you've got to credit Blitzarves.
Again, it'll be a fascinating ball to watch. They switched that on-ball screen that time, able to cause the turnover. Nicholson called for the travel.
I don't know.
Out here.
No, I
We
don't
go
know.
to the replay. Jenny Screen's not sure.
I don't think it is.
Jump
I thought it was a
stop,
bunny
2
hop.
feet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Benefit of the doubt.
That's why I'm not a
Jenny
referee.
Screen and Michelle Timms not score.
Referees are always wrong, aren't they?
Game action calls it a travel. The Rangers get the ball back. Novosel looking to be aggressive one-on-one versus Wilson. They switch that screen. Novosel taking it at Taylor. Tough basket.
Yeah, that's really smart. And say it again, love Novosel. Actually, it wasn't even Novosel. Was that Cummings, was it?
That was Novosel getting there. And credit to Taylor too. Renowned for sometimes getting in foul
that's
trouble.
why she took at her. That's what I was saying. It was a really good job. Smart play to take it at her. Yeah.
And smart D by Taylor not to foul, keeping herself in the game. Wilson able to get to the bucket there for the Flames. Tontarden now directing traffic for the Rangers. Straight back to Novosel. This time hand off the Blitzars for the finish.
I'm pretty sure Cheryl's called a timeout because she's not happy from the collective defense that's happening with Sydney.
It's much better offense by and patience and smarts by Dandenong too. They worked the ball well, getting the ball in Novosel's hands, and she's made things happen.
I think what was evident there, Toomsy, is the Rangers' ability to play at two paces. We've seen them run the floor really well, but we've seen them a number of times they're able to execute in the half court and get good buckets out of their half court set.
Yep.
Jenny Screen's going to listen in to the timeout from Cheryl Chambers now. She'll report back with what her thoughts are there. The JK Rangers with a 1-point lead. Sydney Uni, Michelle, have been so good in the second half this season.
Yeah.
9 out of 12 games they've won that are 4 points or less. That's the cool head of Leilani Mitchell down the stretch. Adversely, does that make it important if the JK Rangers are going to steal game one tonight to try and get out to somewhat of a first half lead?
Look, in the last time these guys played in Sydney, I think if I remember, Dandenong were 13 up, and Sydney came back and went on a crazy run. They had to win 22-11 in the last quarter, so Dandenong will be well aware of what can happen, and they won't be fussed about the scoreboard. They'll just be focusing on just keep scoring. They won't worry about the spread or anything. But this is a team that you've got to know is not going to lay down. They're the comeback queens, as they call themselves.
Sydney Uni with a 6-0 run to win that game by 4.
Game in the last minute.
Jenny Screen, what did Cheryl Chambers have to say during the timeout?
It's the same words that were spoken about in the first quarter. Team defense and containment. Being accountable for your individual defense, but then being able to help out your teammate, which Sydney have been great at all season.
We talked pre-game that it'd be Sydney with a lot of on-balls. We see more so the Rangers running the on-ball and getting a lot out of it. Sydney having a hard time guarding it. Sydney now, though, into their half-court set. That's another turnover. Novosel again looking to run.
Great take. Another passing turnover. Real sloppy Sydney's end. Dandenong came out in a zone then after that timeout.
Jacinta Kennedy on the offensive rebound. Crafty little play coming out in the zone, throwing havoc to a play that Sydney might have drawn up to go against the man. Jacinta Kennedy, another offensive rebound.
Wow.
Great job.
And bucket for the veteran.
I'm loving it. Shout out to her 3 children, I'm sure, that are watching at home with her husband, Josh Kennedy.
2 offensive rebounds and a bucket for Jacinta Kennedy. She's announced she'll retire at the end of this grand final series. Can she go out with another championship to add to her 3 already? Sarah Blitzar's off to the races. Hand off to Novosel.
I was going to say,
Rangers getting out and running.
I didn't think that was a great decision, but Novosel made something out of a very difficult situation, and she should have just taken it.
The strength of Blitzars and Novosel going at the rim is a problem for the Sydney Uni Flames at the moment. Leilani Mitchell unable to stem the tide. Sarah Blitzar's another defensive rebound.
Yeah, great job by Dandenong. Dandenong playing it's not many teams would go to zone against such a sharp shooting team, especially while Snell, Mitchell and Wilson are on, but it's quite effective. And if you watch the next defensive play coming down the court by Dandenong, you see Jacinta Kennedy really yapping the whole time, talking that zone up. She's sitting in the middle there, taking up a lot of space and really directing her teammates to where they need to be.
And that play important. Sarah Blitzar's not only secured the defensive rebound, but had the poise to control the ball and pivot, ended up with Asia Taylor getting her first foul. That could be crucial if she's in foul trouble down the stretch. Jacinta Kennedy again, this time a bit too much mustard on the shot. Jacinta Kennedy, 34 years old, on the floor, securing the loose ball against 3 Sydney Uni Flames players.
For me right now, there's been a great shift from Sydney into the Dandenong's advantage in terms of Sydney are going 1 pass, 1 shot, or they're playing one-on-one rather than team moving the ball, whereas Dandenong getting great shots, great penetration, attacking the faults of Sydney, which is their poor defense at the moment, and they're capitalising with an 8-point run.
Something that's been really important for the Rangers so far, we've seen during the semi-final series, Malott and Sarah Blitzar both significantly down on their season averages, both of them getting in the game early in the first half here as the Rangers do turn the ball over on the inbounds.
Yeah, I thought that was something that had to change. I thought Malott and Blitzar had to lift their game these final series for Dandenong to be competitive. And they're both playing pretty well, especially Blitzar. As Snell, that's great for her confidence. Nails a long 3 over a big hand.
If you don't mind, the length that Blitzar's closing out hard. Belinda Snell says, whack. The Rangers with the ball through hands. Novosel a chance to respond. Yep. She does so with a triple of her own. The Rangers respond to keep it at 5. Sydney Uni we now see looking to push the tempo. Wilson gets at the rim, tough bucket.
Tough wheel dealing behind the back penetration. Nice finish also.
We're back to the up and down tempo we saw earlier in the game. Novosel in
Oh.
a heat check.
Todd Hunter with a little baby tap in, thank you.
Little own goal there. The Rangers will take it. Keeps the 5-point lead for them. That one will put down to Bogue as a little point for the Rangers. Linda Snell, just the wise head calling the tempo. Big pick from Shanae Greaves. Novosel stays with it. Big steal from Greaves, good closeout. Sarah Blitzards again with the rebound.
Yeah, right now it's one shot. That's all they're getting, Sydney. They're not getting many people to the offensive glass at all. They're just starting to head back, worried about this transition. Not a great shot. That's when they probably should have run some offense there, Dandenong.
The Rangers going with a smaller lineup. Sarah Blitzards feasting on the defensive glass at the moment. We'll go to a timeout. Jenny Screen's going to go check out what the Rangers have to say via Larissa Anderson. We saw just a touch there, Timsy, of going back to a bit of that frenetic pace of the first quarter, and this quarter has seemed to favour the Dandenong Rangers as they lead by 5, 2:23 left in the second.
Yeah, they're definitely controlling the tempo right now. Some of their vet players, like your Novotel Kennedy and Todd Hunter, really coming up big for them in this quarter. But like you said, Blickhouse has been a monster on the boards and will continue to need to dominate on the glass. Something that Sydney really need to pay attention to too is that they're all running back instead of being aggressive on that offensive glass as well. There's only a person who's shooting the ball and sometimes one player going for the offensive glass for Sydney. Now, you've got to shoot a very high clip you've got to be putting the ball in the hole. So, and they're not doing that right now.
And just to put it succinctly about how Dandenong are playing, the great Lauren Jackson's just tweeted in and just said Dandenong are balling. Shout out to Lauren at home with her young son, Harry. Great to have her tuning in. Jenny Screen, you heard into the Jayco Rangers time out there. What do they have to say?
Yeah, Larissa spoke about way to punish them in terms of the inside-outside game and getting that attacking penetration. She also spoke about carrying a hand with Snelly, locking and trailing on Leilani, which I think they've been doing a great job of. She's been quite quiet at the moment and not hurting them too much, and just continuing with what they've been doing. Other than that, it was pretty calm and collected with 2 minutes to go.
And as you'd expect coming out of the Rangers with a great patch of play to give them a 5-point lead. Just over 2 minutes left in the first half of game one here. Nathan Stremple joined by Michelle Timms and Jenny Screen bringing the game to you. Hopefully enjoying the action wherever you're watching on your favourite device. Leilani Mitchell out of the timeout, gets a nice easy one for Alex Wilson. I think she drew a triple team there before just finding the open play, and that's what Leilani Mitchell is so good at, world class at operating off the screen as she comes and tries to get a hand on the Blitzar's loose ball.
Great hustle there by Mitchell. I think
Leilani Mitchell, her first.
Yeah, I think that's what they need. They need a little bit of intensity, something to give them a bit of advantage heading into the half-time.
Minute 53 to go in the half. The Rangers still with a 3-point lead. Both sides going with smaller lineups still. Malott and Blitzards to the front court for the Rangers as Blitzards continues to get at the rim.
Totally rimmed Graves, just took it on a pull-through and left her for dead. Now, that's been a bit of bread and butter for her. She's scored quite a few of those during this game, this half so far, as Wilson has made that a bit of her specialty. Put the ball on the floor.
And you talked about before the game, I think it was off camera, we were talking about the Rangers defensively needing to junk it up. And we've seen Mitchell having to face a bit of Clydesdale, a bit of Todd Hunter, a bit of Cumming, all these perimeter defenders just rotating on Mitchell, who's had to play big minutes already.
Yeah, she hasn't found the rhythm yet, Mitchell, but she's one of these players that can go a half and not be seen and then suddenly blow up in the second half. So a bit like Whitcomb we saw the other week. Quiet the first half and then blew up in the second half.
You're exactly right. Game 2, 2 points to half-time. They kept her, finishes the game with 20 and almost brought the Perth Lynx over the line, but it wasn't to be, so the Rangers are right here as Bon Jovi just rings out and shows a bit of love to the Sydney Uni Flames crowd. And Blitzards continuing to be aggressive at the rim.
Yeah.
Great decision to get the ball moving and kick it on as Snell contains her. Turnover though, Mitchell out and running. Novosel able to get a hand on it without fouling.
Shouldn't be. Bo's got to protect that ball. She's got to fend off with that right hand and not let the defender get to her shooting hand. We'll see it here on the replay. just a great, see how she just left it out there for the defender to have a go at. Really got to protect that ball.
Credit to Novosel taking the gamble. She left Mitchell early, predicted she was going to make the pass, gave her time to get a hand on it. Ball goes back to the Flames, so they'll look to execute from the baseline. Flames swing it to Wilson. 27 in game one. She's rolling again, game one of the grand final.
I called it at the start of the game, X Factor.
And way to watch her too. You talked off mic before the game about her catch high and gets the ball straight up. Such a quick release for Alex Wilson.
Wow.
Malott with the response for the Rangers. The Rangers have had a chance to reply every time tonight. Whatever Sydney has done, they've come back.
Bo carried a hand. That was a big shot. And it's not odd for people at home who haven't seen much of Malott. That's what she does. She shoots the three. She has that range.
Anyone watching the semi-final series wouldn't know that about Malott, though,
true.
but she's obviously just had about 5 spoonfuls of confidence as Sarah Blitzars not only carries a hand, sends that one out. The Flames will get it back from the baseline.
5 on the clock. 22 on the game clock.
So the Rangers with a chance, you'd think, to get the last shot of the half. Wilson
Only
again, same spot, same result. Here come the Flames.
Oh, she did.
We're all tied up, 13 seconds left in the half. Amy Clydesdale barking instructions for the Rangers. Looking at some sort of a horn set. Now they've got Blitzars guarded by Sinead Gray. She asks for the closeout. Attacks baseline. Mid-range shot for Sarah Blitzars. Money to send the Rangers into the half-time. They're up 2. We go to half-time. The Dandenong Jayco Rangers 48, leading the Sydney Uni Flames 46. Ladies, I'm going to leave it to the two of you to just unpack that second half, because I'm going to need to jump out for a special presentation on the floor here. We're going to go to our Robin Marr Defensive Player of the Year to be acknowledged in front of the crowd, and also our WNBL 16-17 MVP in just a moment. So I'm going to jump out to do that as we watch some highlights from the first half. I'll leave you Michelle Timms, Jenny Screen, to unpack some of your thoughts on the first half so far.
Well, I think that girl there, Screeny's been pretty big for Dandenong. After being fairly quiet and worried about her consistency in games, she's really blown up in this first half and helped steady the ship and get help Dandenong Rangers be in the position they are right now at 48-46.
Absolutely. 46-48. Huge game. We're looking at a 90-point plus game right here now, Timsy. Interesting, though. Who do you think were your highlights in terms of Sydney, in terms of contributors for the first half?
Well, I mean, I'd love to have a stat sheet, but without a stat sheet, I would say that I'm pretty happy with the contribution Wilson's made. I think that, Wilson's got 14. And we see Hampson with 8. She went a bit quiet after the first quarter. Tupé's got a couple of three-pointers, so she's up for 6, and Taylor's got 8. Taylor came out on fire in that first quarter, but I thought that Blickar's done a really good job. I think the team defence has been a lot better, more of a focus on where she was when she was out there for Dandenong, out there for Sydney.
Absolutely. As we go to the stats at halftime and we look at the field goal percentage with, pretty even. 3-point percentage, 3-7, 1-8. Probably lacking on Rangers, but they're making up for it in their penetration and their possession game. Assists is pretty even. Sydney's not going to be pretty happy, Timsy, with the 8 turnovers. That probably didn't help them in the second half. In the second quarter, sorry.
The stats don't tell us much, does it? I mean, and in saying that, that's why it's so close. Like, there's, other than the turnovers, Screeny, there's not much else we can
So if
see
you're in
that
a
really stands
halftime
out.
with Larissa at the moment, what would be your words of wisdom or advice going into the second half of this Game 1 WNBL
I'm telling them
final?
good job, first of all. I'm saying good job. We're stuck to our game plan. We're putting certain players clearly who they've been wanting to attack through Blickarves on the wing. They've been attacking, putting the ball on the floor. So I think she's going to be fairly positive, but reminding the players that this is a team who's renowned for big second halves, and if you've got a big lead, you have to stay focused on your game plan and commit to the game plan in the second half.
Larissa did allude to that it is a 40-minute game. Possession game is huge. I think the skill has been great. The nerves were weathered early, and then we saw good contributions across the board in terms of we have 8 scorers from either side, both Sydney and Dandenong, as we look to the highlights of that first half with Novosel there.
Yeah,
Novosel's
Novosel's special.
About her game.
I really love watching her play. You know, she comes up with a big play there. We see the steals. Look, she just always does something at a crucial part of the game.
Absolutely. She's been really effective off the bench. On court, she's leading the way, 9 points, shooting at 57% from the field. Whilst 2 steals, which have been great, and also her effectiveness leading the way also with 11. Blitzlove, as you spoke about, penetration, she's done that 3 times from the same spot. Cheryl, she talked about defense in both timeouts. Do you think that will be the same focus going into the second half?
Absolutely. 100% sure they're going to be talking about their defense, but also their offensive sets, getting the ball through hands. As you mentioned earlier, Screeny, not settling for just one-on-one situations. That's what I think Dandenong's hit their rhythm a bit more by, you know, going to certain plays and getting the ball in the right people's hand at the right time to go one-on-one. And so I'm sure Cheryl will not only be talking about the defense needing to lock down, but also getting the ball through, running their sets, because when you know, that's what made them so good, is that when they, throughout the season and on this winning stretch of, I think Nathan said earlier, of 10-game winning streak.
Yep.
The reason they were so good because they were played for each other and they got the ball through players' hands.
Absolutely.
And they were willing to make that extra pass. And we saw Wilson get a couple of wide open threes through good, you know, good ball movement. There's one of them there. So they need to get back to that.
And at the start of the game, we're sitting here now, half-time. Sydney are down by 2, 48, Dandenong leading. Did you think we'd be sitting here at a 2-point game?
No, not at all. You know, I thought it was going to be close, but I thought that we would see Sydney dominating the game. Like I didn't expect Dandenong to be up, so full credit to them. Although I was a little bit worried at the start with that crazy pace they both played with. But yeah.
Well, here we go. Nathan Stremple crossing live.
What a first half of action. The Dandenong Jayco Rangers just ahead of the Sydney Uni Flames. I just want a crowd check on who's out there. Any Dandenong Jayco Rangers fans in the crowd? Still looking to going. What about Sydney Uni Flames? You still out there, folks? Massive second half coming out. Sydney Uni Flames been very good in the second half of the season. We had some presentations before the game for those who weren't here. Nathan Stremple is my name. It's my pleasure on behalf of the league to invite the head of the WNBL out on the floor. Would you put your hands together for Sally Phillips? As Sally comes out, we've got 2 more very special presentations to make. First of all, the Robert Marr Defensive Player of the Year for 2016-17. Would you put your hands together from the University of Canberra Capitals, Mariana Tolo?
Not sure if the folks at home can hear this, but just awarding the best defensive player of the year in the WNBL to Mariana Tolo.
I know Robert Marr is tuning in, watching on the screen. From home, we have Emily McInerney, a multiple Robert Marr Defensive Player of the Year award winner, in the crowd with us. So having Robert watching at home, Emily McInerney in the crowd, Mariana, you've got Steph Cumming, who won it last year, playing tonight. What does it mean to you to come out this season, Mariana, doing the Defensive Player of the Year?
Means a lot, especially to have those people who are those things are
This second half coming out, folks, one round of applause for the Robert Marr Defensive Player of the Year, Mariana Tolo. And one more special presentation, folks, is a young lady called Lauren Jackson, who's watching at home. I saw her tweeting halfway through the second quarter. She said, Dandenong are balling. She's won 4 MVPs. There's someone else until last week who won 4 for being actually the MVP. Makes her the only player in history to win 5 WNBL MVPs. She's won 5 of the last 6.
You're pretty special yourself, Suze. And you're going out just the last couple of weeks against Sydney Uni Flames. As we saw them get up, we saw some emotion from your honor. I said on Twitter, I hope it's not going to see that. You're still not going to do it.
Yeah, definitely not ready to get those boots up, and to get knocked out of the set is always hard to walk away from the game, so just got to keep going.
No doubt, you love the outdoor playing, and what's some of your thoughts watching the running with the players going out so far?
Yeah, look, to have such a close mark, I think it's been an excellent display. It's fast paced, there's some tough shots out there, the game's flowing, and it's probably the first time I get to watch a game and relax. It's a little bit different, but I really enjoyed it. I think the display tonight's incredible.
So enjoy the chance to relax, and return to the lane, bring back up the ring. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, what a champion. I love me some Susie Batkovich. That girl.
Now, speaking of that, five-time MVP now, history-making, Rio selected. Unfortunately, beaten gone. She hasn't retired. She's going to
that's
play
right.
on. Commonwealth Games next year. Talk to me about who do you think's on the radar. Well, we don't have a coach, which has been
Oh,
advertised.
now's the chance to talk. So, but look, you know what? That's a
Who's
really
on the
interesting
radar?
point. For me, we talk about, and it should be, and it is, the path to making the Opals is the WNBL. How you go in the WNBL should be the path of your selection into sports. And yes, Susie has been MVP. Okay, we won't talk about that. She didn't make the Rio. Let's move on to now. If we get back to what the WNBL is, and that's a stepping stones for the Opal squad. I'm going to say that the likes of somebody like Wilson, who she's had a really good season, and her progression. I think that she deserves a look into a squad for sure. If you talk about how people are going in throughout the WNBL season, I'm putting her into a squad. What do they have? They have squads of about 100, like 35, I think was the last squad. But even without 45, I think someone like a Wilson, who's never been in the senior squad, I don't think, I could be wrong, I might be making this up, but I think on what she's done this year, I think she deserves a look in. As you take your usual suspects in your Cummings and your Pickards and Clydesdale and
We don't talk about these two teams, and let's go to Perth Links. They've had some great players contributing this year. Sammy Wickham, maybe.
Well, that brings us to
6 points for the MVP, going over, playing the WNBA this season. She's another one who we put on the radar.
Well, of course, but then that's a different discussion.
It's a
because
hard discussion.
Then you've got to talk about you can only take one import. Yeah.
Well, that discussion becomes about Kelsey Griffin, as it's great to join you again, ladies.
Yeah.
Kelsey Griffin, Leilani Mitchell, or Sammy Wickham. There's only one of the three, which makes that a very hard discussion to have.
It's a tough one, but I tell you, I'll lay it on you right now. This is how I go, and I've thought about this a lot because watching Sammy Wickham play is just a joy. What she can do, it's about putting the ball in the hoop. But here's my thing. Going back to being a point guard, if you don't have a good point guard, you just don't win internationally. You can't get it done. And so players like Wickham, although she could probably spend some minutes in the point anyway, but I want to make sure I've got a great point guard. I'm going for a point guard, and to me that's an important position to have.
Tough choice for the coach that has not yet been announced or interviewed or selected. And we can talk about that too. Who's on your radar? Who's going to be on the radar?
Just before we go to the coach, my thing is, I just want to talk to Mauricio Moratore or whoever is the powers to be at FIBA and work out why Leilani Mitchell, who has an Australian mother, has to be a visa player for us. I'd love it to be a choice between Kelsey Griffin and Sammy Wickham, but Leilani is recognised for being Australian. I don't know the ins and outs of that. I've been told that's not a possibility, but it is frustrating.
It is. It's a tough one. I'm on the FIBA Players Commission board. I'll bring it up with
yes.
Nathan.
Thanks, Squid.
Hey, miss everything.
But we'll see how we go. But there are rules and regulations, and unfortunately, she has spent most of her time, even though her mother was raised here, most of her time abroad in America. But we are grateful that she has donned the green and gold for us.
But I'm grateful, Jenny Screen, that you just told me you're right in there with the safe, so you can make this happen for us.
I can only try. I might be able to flutter my eyelids occasionally, but it is the one meeting we have a year that we have a voice for the players, for myself in the Oceania region.
ladies, forgive me, I was making a presentation out there to Susie back here on course. I missed some of your conversation. You may have touched it already. Let's just revisit what we said, some of the keys to the game. What do you think? Anything change of how you've seen the first half play out? What are the key going into the second half? Maybe your thoughts on Sydney.
Well, if we have a look at the scorers, Al Wilson, my X Factor, is leading with 15 points. I think Dandenong have to do a better job of blocking her down and making sure that they continue their services they have. Leilani, she's only got 2 points, but I still think she's been an important factor in the game. We have to be mindful that she doesn't get too dominating in the second half. But Dandenong, I like the way they're playing. I think they're pushing the ball well. Apart from a few shots where they've been a bit wayward and a bit haphazard, for the most part, I think both of them are playing.
I think the Dandenong's done it. They've pretty much stuck to their game plan, I think. So, oh well, that was my game plan actually. Defending the on-balls, I think they've done a pretty good job on that. I think they've controlled the tempo, surprisingly for me. I didn't think they were going to be able to control the tempo. I think they've done a pretty good job of controlling the tempo. And as you said before, Nathan, about pushing the ball and then knowing when it's time to run off in, because it was a crazy hectic first quarter, and it was eventually going to settle in. It took both teams a while to settle in, but what Dandenong took the stare game a little bit sooner. And they've limited Mitchell's input into the game, I think.
And they would also be saying welcome back Sarah Blitzarves.
Yeah.
Top 8, I think, in the league in scoring throughout the season. In the semi-final series, Blitzarves' average dropped down to under 10, 9.3. 14 first half points for Sarah Blitzarves. Aggressive attacking is really important for the
Both
Rangers.
sides, left and right, and then defensively as well. Possession game has been great. I think she's really grown as a player and establishing herself. Another one that will be overseas.
We're about to get underway with the second half here, the action for the grand final. Jaco Rangers start with the ball and get this one underway. They take a 2-point lead into the second half. Sydney have been very good in second half throughout the season. Dandenong with a chance to reverse their result against their second last round of the season when they came to Sydney. Got the job done. That won't get it done though as they missed their first basket.
It's a strong rebound by Wilson right there.
Flames going to their half-court set as they're renowned for. Wilson, nicely dump pass to Taylor, unable to control it though. The Rangers off and running.
Oh, it's a little bit similar to how we started the game. Turnover, fast break. But there's no reason why Wilson shouldn't have caught that. That snapped on both hands, that penetration by Wilson, which was beautiful.
Then coming the other way, the Todd Hunter pass, maybe she thought she was passing it to Andres Blitzarves in his prime, and he would have thrown that one down, but a little bit high for Sarah on that one.
All right, mate.
Andres would have thrown that in the day, don't you think?
For sure. No, I didn't see enough of it. I didn't think you were older than me.
Flames with the ball back into the half-court set again. Hanson back in the game.
This is one of
Too
their
big for
favourite,
Kennedy.
one of Sydney's favourite and most successful plays, where they have that distraction on the weak side, which opens it up for the big girl just to make that catch, seal in front of her man.
With Rangers forced into their half-court set, which they've executed really well in the second half. There it's from the first half. Blitzarves.
On the grass again is Kennedy and Todd Hunter as well. Todd Hunter is the best rebounding point guard in this league.
Well, Kennedy and Todd Hunter have led the Rangers in rebounds for the semi-final series against Perth. Not Blitzarves, not Malott. Little Amelia Todd Hunter just gets aggressively at the glass, and it would make her just a horrible defensive matchup for people. She's always getting after that offensive glass.
Oh, just a great seal again. They go to it back-to-back. And Kennedy just getting shoved aside then. She did have good position, but she let her man seal her, step in front of her, so she gave up
Hanson up to 10 points for the game. We saw that be a problem for the Rangers in the first half, and the Flames going back to it to start the second. Rangers turnover. Momentum now with the Flames. Mitchell controlling the tempo. Getting into their half-court set. Hanson, that's where the Rangers want to catching the ball a little bit further out. Linda Snell now, shot clock running down, gets inside to Taylor. Taylor, as she's renowned for
nice
attacking
right
the
there.
rim.
Really nice. You've got to stay down, though. I don't think you can stay upright, you know. You've got to stay down defensively, move your feet, even though she's picked the ball up. Stay down.
Great patience there by the Flames, able to execute and get the bucket late in the shot clock, pushing out to a little 4-point lead. Ooh. A 6-0 run for the Flames to start the half. Todd Hunter puts an end to that to make it 52-50. The Flames still with the lead.
There we go. Talk about staying on the play.
Sydney controlling the tempo again. They love that look of Asia Taylor attacking the rim.
Gee, they've really brought Hanson into the game. What a great pass. Hanson's just collecting the cream right now. A great pass by Taylor.
Taylor taking the mustard off the hot dog. Little no-look pass, that one on the money. The Flames up and running, and now it's the Rangers' turn to slow the tempo.
Oh, Cummings works their way into the ball game with the long three.
Big time bucket, Steph Cummings, just slowing the tempo of the Flames, reversing their momentum, bringing it back to a 1-point game.
I thought Dandenong missed an easy one there. Oh, I'm not sure what that was all about. Who's that foul going to be on? We'll see that on the replay right now. Oh, I don't know. What did he call?
A little bit of how you do off the ball.
That looked like a double. That looked like a double to me. I don't know what that was all about. Well, did he give them both a flop warning?
Interesting point you bring up. We saw Susie Bakovic in game 2 fouling out.
I knew that would get a run here, yeah. And it should.
On a two-payer job, which on the replay didn't look like perhaps as much contact as you would have first thought.
Perhaps. He's being very kind.
Regardless of that, the Flames with the ball back, looking to execute. Mitchell trying to post up Todd Hunter. Snelly says no. Now Mitchell on the perimeter, trying to get inside to Taylor. Blitzar's doing a good job denying the post, turning it over.
There was a lot of bumping going on down there between Taylor and Blitzar, and Blitzar's won that one.
Just a great battle to watch. Taylor 11 points, Blitzar's 14.
Oh.
Two athletes going at it.
Hampson's having a good start to this third quarter.
Hampson's length is a problem for the Rangers when she's on the floor. In the first half, they were able to exploit it. Malott able to shoot the ball and shoot Hampson off the floor somewhat, but they're not able to capitalise there on the defensive end, and they had to bring in Lauren Scherf to try and counter the height of Hampson. Nice cameo by Nicholson. We saw her confidently hit a triple early in her minutes in the first half. She'll go to the line now to shoot 2. Nicholson, no mistake on the first. Lauren Scherf in for her first minutes. We haven't seen her play much throughout the semi-final series. Yeah. Big opportunity for her coming up against Hampson.
Big risk. Interestingly, so Larissa's wanting
Honesty's
and
the best
willing
policy.
to make.
Yeah, you're right though, Screeney, you are. She hasn't, I went back and watched the 3 times these two teams met, and Scherf was a starter back in game 1, back in December. But her game's really dropped away, and Larissa Anderson's put a lot of faith in her, given her massive opportunities, and she really needs to step up now and repay her in this grand final series with the minutes she gets.
I like that they roll the dice. She's had a really nice pick there to get Steph Cumming open for the basket. Keeping it close. Taylor.
Oh, get out of jail. Free card there. Yeah. Had her. She hesitated on the 3. You knew she wanted to drive. She was on the left hand. Blitzar did a great job, but then just
lunged at it. Hands in.
Only Blitzar's second. It's nice that we get to see Taylor and Blitzar's play. Neither in foul trouble so far. But Aisha Taylor definitely did not want to shoot that triple. Sarah Blitzar gave her 1.5 meters, and she still tried to put it on the floor.
Mitchell comes out early. Gets a breather.
You hear the crowd getting right around Leilani Mitchell. Very rare that she goes to the bench for the Flames.
Say it, Screeney. Say it, Screeney.
No, I'm not going to.
Alex Wilson getting
I'll
to
let
the
her
rim.
speak for herself.
Crucial point here, only just coming up to 3 minutes into the second half. Sorry, 5 minutes into the second half. But Dandenong with 3 team fouls, Sydney Uni none.
Dang it.
Could be crucial down the stretch.
You get a mismatch with Hanson on Cunningham, and she passes it instead of taking her like this.
Wow. Steph Cumming doesn't get the roll. She'll get 2 free throws out of it.
with these on-balls, you've got to see what's happening around you. So she had a one-on-one opportunity for herself on that on-ball. Also, there was a mismatch.
Wilson was guarding Sher from the post.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get to. Got a bit excited.
We go to a timeout. The Flames with a 3-point lead going to this. That's their first team foul now. 4:55 to go in the third. 3 team fouls for the Rangers. That could be crucial going down the stretch if they end up in the bonus.
Yep.
We saw there the Flames able to arrest back some momentum to start this quarter, slow the tempo to their tempo in the half court, and Hampson a real problem for the Rangers with her length. As we already mentioned, they've had to bring in Lauren Scherf to counter the length of Hampson at the defensive end.
Yeah, Hampson's been good for them. Sorry, I didn't quite hear. I'm having problems. There you go, thanks. I'm having problem hearing you, so I apologise.
I'm just saying Hampson's length a problem for the Jayco Rangers, as she's been able to score at will during the start of this third quarter.
They ran those. Yeah, I thought they did a better job of recognising what they wanted to go through, and they definitely who they wanted to go to, Sydney, and they did a good job in the early stages of that the third quarter now to get the ball into her and get opportunities to get involved in the game. And, you know, down the other end, she was a good ring protector for him as well, as she managed to alter some shots down there. And you'll find it'll open the game up for other players if she can be a threat down there on the inside.
Jenny Screen, you were listening in to the Rangers timeout. What did they have to say?
Singing the same tune, Nathan, in terms of defence, stepping up, making them have to shoot the outside shot and challenging them that way rather than the penetration. Team defence, I can't harp on it enough. It seems to be coming from both camps. We're heading for almost a 90-point ball game right now. It'd be good to see some knuckle-hard defence.
Well, I tell you what, the good thing about it's great for the fans.
Yes.
I just want to know what Larissa Anderson's singing like. If she's singing the same tune, just she on point there. Flames with the ball back. And it might be, ladies, the first team that knuckles down and strings a few stops together could take the ascendancy and lead to them taking the chocolates here in game one of the grand final series.
I'm interested to see what happens in this next couple of minutes. Mitchell is sitting down for the first time. Not leading the team as the point guard. It'll be interesting to see how they can weather this storm without her and maintain their lead.
Big bucket for Nicholson. Takes it to 7 for the game. We talk about X factors. That's 7 really valuable points coming from the bench for the Flames.
Don't mind that foul, bumping the cutter. Yeah, might have hit her a little bit hard, but you want that kind of aggression in a grand final.
When you say you don't mind it, pretty sure Talia Tupaya didn't really enjoy it at all.
Well, at least she didn't fall to the ground this time, unlike in Townsville.
True, nice strong ball.
Oh, snaps. Screens.
Ow.
Screens on a roll.
Ranger ball on the baseline. Going back to a bigger lineup as Malott comes off a screen for Blitzar's nice finish. Rangers going quite big to try and counter the Flames there. Novacell and Cumming long in the backcourt.
Oh, you've got to do something, girls. You've got to switch that. You can't. That was really poor communication between Blitzar's and Malott there.
Lauren Nicholson continuing to be a factor for the Flames. First season back from St Mary's, she's getting it done in the grand final series.
Wilson getting it done on the glass as well.
Important part of the game here. 3:30 left in the third quarter. The Flames just get the feeling they have some momentum. Crucial turnover for the Rangers.
She likes the odds.
Steph Cumming, as she has done all season, and especially raising the bar during the finals, scoring when the Rangers need a crucial bucket. This time able to get to the foul line. Steph Cumming, a great free throw shooter. You'd back her to knock down 2 here. Big minutes for Rosie Fadlovic coming in the game too. Her energy in game 3 of the semi-final series was crucial when Sarah Blitzars had early fouls. Larissa Anderson rewarding that, giving her some minutes now in a key point of the game.
Absolutely. In grand finals, you can't, and in any team, you can't underestimate the advantage when you have good role players. And coaches can look down the bench and go, I need you, maybe for 1 minute and maybe for 5 minutes. And you know that they're going to contribute the way that they should.
Lauren Nicholson, exactly that for the Flames. Steph Cumming makes them both, keeping this one tight, 2-point ball game. The Flames smooth in their half-court execution. Leilani Mitchell back in the game. You'd think that's where she'll stay for the duration. She's got Rosie Fadlovic on an island. Rosie does a good job making her shoot the triple. Lauren Scherf's length crucial on the defensive glass.
Well, that's Rosie's thing. She's a really good defender. And with this big lineup that Dandenong's got on, they'll be able to switch it most things. Sarah
Blitzars making a good choice. Aggressive at the rim. Back to Cumming. Gets it back for the triple that puts the Rangers back in front.
This is how I want to see Blitzars play every week, though. We don't see enough of this week in, week out.
It's not like Blitzars is shy about being a big game player. We saw in the semi-final last year, 12th highest score all time, dropping 38, albeit a losing grand final to the South East Queensland Stars. Losing semi-final.
Sydney were very lucky there in terms of probably not the shot you want to take early on in the offense, and got out of jail free card there with a foul.
They looked like they were both hooking. I don't know.
They'll take the baseline ball though. The Rangers now up to 14 fouls. Any fouls for the rest of this quarter will see Sydney shooting free throws.
Good screen there by Snell. Sets up. Wow. And the three. Thank you, Mitchell.
Mitchell, that takes it to 5 points.
Been quiet on the scoreboard, but the best players make the buckets when they're most needed. And right there, a crucial three to answer Blitzars.
Gosh!
Blitzars with a heat check at the other end.
Speaking of shot selection, goodness. That's one of those that you go, oh, what the? Oh, great shot.
That's one of those where you say, just keep an eye out where the fire extinguishers are. Blitzars, 2 quick triples, 20 for the game. Back and forth here with 1:52 going in the third.
Oh, Lordy! Oh, Lordy! Mitchell's waking up from her slumber.
Again, Leilani executing off the on-ball. The Rangers didn't show off the on-ball. Slow to come out to Leilani. She knocks down the triple.
You'd expect there to be a sub real soon from the Rangers. Oh, nice move. My girl, Novacell. No, okay. You'd think Todd Hunter or one of the smaller players in close that'll be coming back on any second. You'd think Todd Hunter.
Wilson loses control of the on-ball, crucial turnover. The Rangers with the lead and the ball, 1:10 to go in the third.
I'm just going to call it. I think Mitchell, and know that she's not showing it, but I think she might be a little bit under the weather, whether she's carrying an injury. She keeps grabbing her back a little bit, and she's not running the point as much. They're sharing the load in terms of Tupea bringing the ball up, Snell's bringing the ball up, and she's running that 2 game, maybe in the 2 spot a bit more, but I don't know. I think there's a little bit something happening.
That's what makes Sydney fairly dangerous, I reckon, is that quite often they do have, like Snelly or Taylor bring the ball up. She doesn't always have it in her hands, so... But do you know something we don't know that you're not meant to share with us?
No, I don't. But I'm just throwing it out there. Just observations as I watch this great game of women's basketball.
You're right, though. Now you've said it. Now I'm looking at it. They rings under her eyes.
Hey, it's a grand final. No one's injured in a grand final.
And no one's sick.
We'll call it expert insight, Michelle Timms. Leilani Mitchell there closing out on Amelia Todd Hunter. 6 on the shot clock. Steph Cumming forced to shoot. The Rangers with an offensive rebound. Novacell's so strong, so consistent for the Rangers off the bench.
There's that shooter in the corner. Great block out by Graves.
In and out for Amelia Todd Hunter.
Please.
Wow! Wilson, no fear. Bucket for the Flames. Sydney back in front.
Dang. Coming down to the last 24 seconds.
Nat Novacell's been so strong for the Rangers the last couple of minutes. Controlling the tempo now. Sarah Blitzars on the wing.
Not knowing where they're going.
Wants the on-ball. Attacks baseline on Nicholson. Good poise to kick back to Cumming. 3 on the shot clock. Whoa. Tough look for Steph Cumming.
They don't need... Oh, wow. I tell you what. I'm going to go...
Snell's been going for the travel. We might get a replay of it.
The crowd's not happy with that. But I'm going to say this. If my bigs run back instead of attacking the glass, I'm not happy. I don't need Scherf to be safety, thank you very much. Get your butt in there and get an offensive board. Now, what was that? I missed after watching my bigs getting back on
They called a travel on Biddle into Snell.
And was it?
1.7 seconds left in the quarter. Well, the umpires have blown it. Michelle Tibbs.
It is.
The
It is a
Rangers with the
travel.
ball. 1.7 left.
Uh-oh.
Notice they'll look at it. Fade away on the buzzer.
Oh.
Doesn't go. Sydney going to three-quarter time with a 1-point lead. Big time game here for game one of the grand final. Michelle Tibbs, Jenny Screen. What do you make of that? The crowd are up and about.
They're
They do
booing.
not like that call.
The crowd are booing the refs as they walked
I
over
mean-
to the other side.
Yeah, poor referees. It's
It
a
is,
job
it's
that no
tough.
one wants, but
Nah, good on
credit to them. They're doing a great job. I can't believe it. 3/4 of basketball, 1-point game. I called Sydney early on, but we have 10 minutes to go, and I couldn't tell you where we're headed in this final quarter as we look at footage of the third quarter.
Enjoy some highlights. Michelle Tibbs is transfixed with the replay screen.
Look at that shot by Blickovs. I mean, Snelly had a hand up. That was a massive shot early on the shot clock. Went in, though, so it's a good shot.
You look in big games
Novacell.
for the big players to step up, and that's what we saw there. Crunch time in the third quarter, we saw Sarah Blitzars knocking 2 big-time triples, but then right there coming back at her, Leilani Mitchell with the response both times when it was required.
Yeah, it's great. I'm just bamboozled at the moment. It's such great basketball, and you know what? The thing that I'm going to say, and I'm going to harp again, it's just so disappointing that people at home don't get to see this brand of basketball. It is a great spectacle right now of 2 great teams that have been top of the ladder all season, and hopefully next season, Nathan, we will be live on TV rather than streaming.
We're excited about that, but also anyone in the
I don't know,
in
I
Melbourne
reckon-
or the region nearby, Game 2 will be Friday night, Dandenong Stadium. Make sure you come out and watch these guys go at it live. And as you find it hard to split the 2 teams here, ladies, is this just simply a case that whoever has the best player on the floor in the last quarter is going to win this game? Is it a case of a Leilani Mitchell or an Asia Taylor grabbing hold of the game for the Sydney Uni Flames, or a Steph Cumming or Sarah Blitzars taking hold of it for the Rangers and getting it done?
Well, Sydney seem to have done it all year in terms of they win games down in the clutch
Yeah.
where 1-2 points, they seem to get it done, and it's normally through a Leilani type. But, you know, I don't know. I'm loving the brand of basketball that Dandenong's playing here. It's entertaining to watch, and it's going to go down to the wire, no doubt about it.
So let me take you both back to a couple of weeks left in the season. The Jayco Rangers came here to Sydney. They had to win for a chance to still make top spot. Sydney get the win and they lock away top spot. We saw the Rangers lead all game, and then Sydney went 6-0 to
Massive
finish the
last
game,
quarter, yeah.
to win the game by 4. How does that affect both teams now as you're looking at the last quarter coming up?
I don't even think it's in their mindset, Nathan. Totally different game.
Does-
I mean,
Doesn't burn for the Rangers, a little extra incentive to try and get one back. Doesn't give the Flames some confidence as they know they can run over the top.
maybe, hopefully they're focused right now, this last 10 minutes, lock it in, every possession counts, and hopefully one team and the better team will come away with a win.
Yeah,
Who that'll
no-
be, I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding, Jenny Screen. We're back to last quarter action. And the Flames, what they've gone to all game, straight at Asia Taylor on the post.
Wow.
Nat Novacell doubles, comes away with a steal. Big play by Novacell, getting the Rangers' first look at scoring in the last quarter.
Taylor's been an interesting one. She had 8 points in the first quarter,
Yeah,
10
she
at
has.
half-time, and has really been quiet.
I was just
It
gonna
hasn't
say
really
that, Screamy.
contributed that much, and not in foul trouble either, so expect something of her in this last 9 minutes of basketball.
Sarah Blitzar, just a little heat check there, just testing out from the mid-range. That one didn't go.
Wow.
Asia Taylor says we've got
She
the
must
mid-range
have
covered.
heard me. I don't know.
Well, I think when you left that open at this level,
I believe that would be the scout for the Rangers, though. Taylor's so tough, so athletic going at the rim. I think they'd be saying, let her
but
shoot.
she
and
can
if
shoot a
beat
foul
you,
shot,
shoot her.
mate.
Amelia Todd-Hunter getting involved on the offensive glass. And the arrow going Rangers' way, so they'll get a baseline ball out of that one.
Great job there by Todd Hunter, the smallest player out there, but leading the offensive rebounding
Rebounds.
count for Dandenong.
Yeah, she's a great rebounder. Absolutely fantastic.
Continuing this fascinating battle
Oh,
between Taylor
no.
and Blitzars.
Another turnover start of another quarter. Oh,
Again, turnover for turnover. They're matching each other in every way. The Rangers pushing the tempo. They think twice.
oh, the crowd really getting into it. Wanting to travel there.
Then a little late going inside to Kennedy, resulting in another turnover.
Oh,
Both teams needing to look after the ball. Pressure does
oh.
funny things.
Well, that's a late call. That was a late call on Novacell.
Matt Novacell not happy about it. Let's have a look at the replay.
fair enough. Good call. I don't believe it's almost a physical impossibility to lunge at the ball and not take part of your arm with it, especially when you're handling it with your outside hand.
A lot of pressure going around now. Sydney can't afford to drop this because it makes it real tough for them if they have to go back to Dandenong 1-0 down at the same time. Dandenong will be desperate for the win here because Sydney know if they get up 1-0, they'd back it coming home. Same spot, same result for Asia Taylor.
So maybe you've got to close that gap, right? Close that a little. Although you're right, she does put the ball on the floor, but they're foul shots. They're not long threes or long twos.
You have to respect her. She's an All-Star 5 player of this league. Carry your hand.
Maybe it's a scout, maybe it's lazy D, but credit to
good.
Asia Taylor stepping up and taking the shot and making the shot that they give her.
I thought Snelly read that pretty well, to be honest.
Statistically, it's great looking at these stats. I mean, we're in a grand final. You think nerves would be a part of it, but both teams are shooting at a clip. Sydney, 62% going into the fourth quarter. Dandenong, 51%. It's really great basketball.
I think that was helped by the first quarter, like just craziness of up, down, and, really putting it on the defenders to try and move their feet. And a lot of scores were scored in layups.
And in a game of basketball, we know a 5-point lead isn't much, but in the context of this game, that's about the biggest lead we've seen. Sydney had a 6-point lead early in the game. But this is a crucial possession for the Rangers just to dial back that lead a little bit early in the last. And they do get it back off the hustle play from Steph Cumming. Yeah,
great jive by recognition by low shot clock, 5 seconds. Steph had to do something and way to get the possession back and hustle again on the offensive glass. And
Steph's been that player for the Rangers throughout the semi-final series. Every time they need a bucket, the shot clock's running down, she has shot the ball at an unbelievable percentage throughout the finals.
I thought she'd been a bit quiet in the first half, but she's really stepped it up the second half.
We talk about role players coming in.
No respect.
Big bucket, Rosie Fadlovic to bring it back to a 3-point game.
There was no one on her.
And whether she's injured or not, Jenny Screen, Leilani Mitchell going, it's money time now, give me the ball, let me control things.
Oh, wow.
Travel,
oh, my
foul.
goodness.
What have we got?
They both put their hand up for a travel.
Well, let's have a look
at the
replay.
Travel or foul? Ooh. One went foul, one went travel.
Oh, one went foul, did they?
Yeah, can we go to the video?
Rosie Fadlovic doing a great job staying in front of Asia Taylor. She has been called for the foul on that play, though.
That could be a huge call. Down the stretch, 7 minutes in the last quarter, 3-point ball game.
Second team foul.
Timing. No,
I think it was a travel.
Probably right call.
1, 2, I don't know.
She was fouled on that last and final step,
I think
maybe.
it was a foul.
Interesting.
I'll leave you guys to talk it over, and I'll just go back to live game action. They've called Rosie Fadlovic the foul. Taylor with a free throw. The first one doesn't go, keeping it at a 3-point game. As you say, those Greeny could be crucial down the stretch. Second team foul for the Rangers, important in the last quarter.
Keep an eye on how the coaches use their timeouts in the last. Both of them have 3, so we'll keep an eye on how they use them in the last 7 minutes. That's always interesting. Oh.
Interesting for the Rangers. We just haven't seen a lot of Amy Clydesdale this game. 12 minutes after three-quarter time. I thought she was a crucial piece for them in her ability to attack the rim during the third. And just as I say that, Amy Clydesdale walks to the bench. Maybe she could be an X factor here in the fourth for the Rangers. Long rebound there. Nice to see for the Rangers switching up too, putting the lengths of blitzars on Mitchell, make it a
I'm loving
a
the battle down low.
That's just, that's wrong. Look, that's rubbish. That's a flop, I think. I don't think there's anything. Let's have a look at the replay here. Yeah, they're fighting for position. I just don't think there's need for all that drama. See, look, please.
I agree with you, Timsy. I think that's just solid. Bumping the cutter. Great defense
there by Rosie. Does the referee not see that? He's watching on the baseline.
Timeout's been called by the Rangers to talk it over. The foul stands. Jenny Screen and Michelle Timmins' opinion very clear, and it's a different one to what was
Sorry,
called.
But I don't like it. I thought the refs have been really good all year for with handling, flopping, and that sort of thing. But to me, that's unnecessary.
Well, I love to see the battle going down there. Fadlovic fighting hard for front position.
She had it.
An interesting move too to see Fadlovic with the shot to go at Taylor so they can put the length of Blitzars guarding Mitchell. Just a different look with Sarah Blitzars guarding Leilani Mitchell. very hard for her to shoot over or make a pass over the length of Blitzars. Be interesting coming out of this timeout whether the Rangers stay with those matchups.
Yeah, I wonder whether that was an actual matchup or maybe just the way it worked out coming down the floor.
Scrambled down the floor.
They couldn't scramble back. But I don't mind if you've got a good point guard. I think a little bit of length bothers them. So I don't mind a bigger player with a longer reach, whether that's Blitzars, but I don't mind having a person with a longer reach like a Novacell or someone like that defending the point guard.
Blitzars is going to be the longest of the Rangers, and she's done a great job all season guarding the perimeter. We have seen the Rangers go to that, but they've got a plethora of options in terms of perimeter defenders. But in terms of what the Rangers did have to say during that timeout, Jenny Screen, you're over there. What did Larissa Anderson have to say to the troops?
Yeah, it was pretty calm, but Larissa was pretty demanding in terms of their offense. They've gone away from what they've been doing well at, attacking the rim, using the ball and getting the open player. They want to go back to that, be smart. And apparently this is what they've been doing throughout the whole year at times. So that she wants accountability now in this last 6 minutes to step up to the pressure.
It's true, the Rangers have swung some momentum throughout the year. Consistency will be key coming home now in the last quarter. They'll be looking to lock in defensively on this play. They get a look at the rebound and secure it, so it stays a 4-point game. Ranger ball. 6:30 to go. This is what you follow basketball for, ladies. Game 1 of the grand final series. 1 versus 2. The top 2 teams of the season going out in the grand final. Amy Clydesdale back on the floor for some speed and energy for the Rangers. Great to see Anderson persisting with Fadlovic even after that third foul.
Yeah, I kind of think in the back of my mind I wouldn't mind seeing Novacell and a Kennedy back on at some stage. You know, good things happen when those girls are on.
Funny you mentioned that, Timsy, in the timeout. The veterans, the Kennedy and the Novacell, were speaking before the coaches entered and giving them valuable feedback and leadership, which is good to see.
Kennedy, 3-time championship winner. Novacell obviously going to the promised land with the Townsville Fire. Steph coming on that Fire side as well. Clydesdale crossing up.
Well, that was
Wilson
really good
gets
by
a look
Clydesdale.
from
We haven't seen that from Clydesdale this game. She was so good in that third semi-final.
She's so quick attacking the rim. That's her strength. Millia Todd Hunter getting after the offensive rebound, but that's the 4th team foul for the Rangers. So we'll see the Flames shooting free throws every foul now for the last 5:56.
There's your girl, Screeny Wilson. She's been good. I just had her on the screen. I thought I'd just let you know.
Blitzars now guarding Wilson. We do see Todd Hunter back onto Mitchell, as has been the matchup most of the game. The Rangers looking to go lockdown in the man. Flames, as we've seen all game, patient, getting through their set, and then looking to attack through Asia Taylor at that high post.
Great D there by Rosie. Really good, really smart, locked down, played it to the scout.
And bouncing back after getting the controversial foul call, Fadlovic staying tough. Todd Hunter all by herself in the corner.
Give it to her.
They ignore it. Blitzars inside. Nice look, Sarah Blitzars taking it right at Asia Taylor, bringing it back to a 2-point game.
You know what, though? They need to be aggressive on the glass. No one was in there offensively for Dandenong if it missed.
Little horn set for the Flames. Mitchell operating off the high screen now. The veteran Belinda Snell getting at the rim. Coming able to contain her. Here go the Rangers off and running. This is where they're dangerous.
That's a tough shot.
Clydesdale pushing the tempo. That's what she gives to the Rangers. She's so quick, so when she's carrying the ball, the Rangers looking to get out and run, and that's where they're tough to contain. And
she's quick. She's quick.
So quick. And Michelle Timms, you get your wish Novacell back in the game now for Fadlovic.
You know, I think you've got to get yourself a better angle, Todd Hunter, on that occasion. That's one she should have made.
Rangers are able to get the ball back, though. Now we'll have a look at them in the half-court set. Clydesdale again, aggressive at the rim. There it is. That's the X factor. That's what we saw game 3. She ties the ball game up.
She's up and on her toes. Have a look at this. Left drive, nice and hard. Takes a bump.
Showing her athleticism now. I think the great thing with her is that hasn't played much tonight, but she's shown that she's ready to play the minutes that she has.
Yeah, tough to do, coming off the bench straight into it.
That's a heck of a pass.
Rangers looking to pressure the ball. Wilson able to get a look as a result of that pressure. Scores tied. Rangers looking to get back in front for the first time this quarter. The length of Hampson, too much there.
Hey, hands are up.
6'7", 201 of length. putting hands in the lane.
I'm running some offense there. I don't know. It's like
the Flames doing exactly that, getting it through hands. Hanson,
wow,
too
Hanson.
long for Blitzar's able to finish in the post.
I think she's been great. 15 points
has.
for the game, well above her average for the season. I think she's done a great job in establishing herself and contributing very well for Sydney Flames tonight.
She has been a problem for the Rangers at the offensive end. She is large and in charge. It's here where the Rangers need to capitalise. Slow on the closeout. Blitzars can't get the three though.
But the good team defense there assisted Hampson.
There she goes again. Wow.
Wilson in the corner. Money. And she likes it. Look at the fist bump, Alex Wilson. Flames back out to a 5-point lead.
As Kavanagh Anderson takes her time out. Her second time out.
Michelle Timms, there you see the little things, the difference they make. Clydesdale turns it over, passing into the hands of Hampson. Hampson get the patience of the Flames. They get the score inside by Hampson.
Yep.
Then again, the turnover down this end. Well, they got the shot. Blitzard misses a three, though. Alex Wilson makes no mistake. We're back out to a 5-point Flames lead. Have you got any clearer read on it, Timsy? 5 points for the Flames, 3:21 to go. We know they're renowned for executing down the stretch.
Yeah. And that's what they've done. They've done a really good job executing down, exactly right down the stretch, getting the ball into the right player's hands. On that occasion, Hanson finding the corner man, cut their play before. Leilani penetrating in heavy traffic, finding that corner position again. And Hanson's been great. Look at her dominating. Look at that kick-out pass was on the money. Wilson just had to catch it. She's got a sweet shot, Wilson. She just catches it and goes straight up.
Yeah, no dip in her shot.
Not
Star
at
of the future, if not a star of right now. Be very interesting to hear what Larissa Anderson had to say for the Rangers at their timeout. Jenny Screen on her way back to us to fill us in. I hazard a guess that they have to look at a way of exploiting Hampson when they have the ball because they need to play her out of the game. Jenny, what did Larissa have to say?
She talked about execution down the stretch. They haven't really executed well. They haven't committed to the shuffle as they normally do. And then possession game, as Timsy alluded to, crashing the offensive glass, not running back and assuming defensive position. So hopefully they can rectify that in the last 3 minutes of this 5-point ball game.
Out of the timeout, the Flames in a man D. We'll look at what the Rangers drew up. Loose pass, Novacell Smarts. Late call, but it was there. Hampson called with the foul on Novacell.
It was late, but it was definitely there. I mean, we all heard it. But there's that Novacell again, making things happen. And we'll see now that we've got, here we go, smack on the right arm.
And like we said, that's exploiting the weakness of Hampson. She's definitely slow on the shuffle there. Novacell smart enough to throw that little pass fake, get Hampson moving the other way and get at the rim. Couple of free throws for her.
That's a bad miss for Dandenong. They needed that one.
Pressure does funny things. Novacell usually a really reliable foul shooter. Big time pressure though, 3:07 to
Another
go.
one. Oof.
That one rolls in. Little Damon Lowry on that one. Bringing it back to a 4-point game. Lauren Nicholson summing out and the crowd get around her because she's been huge for the Flames.
Really good minutes, really valuable minutes.
9 points, and she's played a lot more than she possibly would with Tupaia having 4 fouls. We see now Chambers rolling the dice on Tupaia for the last 3 minutes. Novacell up and in. It's tough out
really
there between
physical,
Cumming and Snell. Great to see the physical battle. The veteran Kennedy back out there for the Rangers. Snelly at the rim. Kennedy says no. Rangers get the ball.
Great lockdown D there by Steph Cummings to actually defend Snelly there on the left-hand drive. Kept her composure, didn't lose her footing, caused the turnover.
And
Great
Kennedy
job.
there to
Kennedy
clean up.
coming across
exactly.
as the enforcer. The nicest enforcer you'll ever see. Novacell, the Rangers liking the ball in her hand, making good decisions down the stretch. Again, aggressive at the rim. Leilani
great defense by Sydney.
Oh, Steph Cumming. She's been big for the Rangers. Again, big bucket. Steph Cumming makes it a 2-point game.
Todd Hunter up there trying to annoy.
Just roll the shoulders back and enjoy the show, folks. Nathan Stremple here, joined by Michelle Timms and Jenny Screen, bringing you the last 2 minutes 12 of WNBL Grand Final Game 1. Mitchell, long 2.
Yeah,
Nothing but net. The crowd's up and about. The Flames back out by 4.
When a player hits the screen, like I don't think Todd Hunter should have hit the screen, but when you hit a screen, it's an automatic switch.
As we said pre-game, Mitchell just an elite operator off the on-ball. That time making the read, getting the bucket. Novosel again getting at the rim. A lot of contact, no call, but just a finger pointing the Flames' way.
Yeah.
Tupaia on 4 fouls, didn't want to get a 5th.
It was the right move. She saw a mismatch there.
You see Tupaia here on the
Hanson
replay,
on
didn't want a 5th, has tried to just stand still.
It was, she stood still. I think that's
Good
a fair
decision.
enough no call, to be honest.
No call, ball out of bounds off Novosel. Flames get it back. Big defensive possession here for the Rangers. 6 or 7 point lead with 1:45 to go. Going to be tough to handle if the Flames can score here.
It was a score line at their last game they played, 81-77.
You'd think they'd exceed it. You think someone
Think so.
scores with 1:35 to go.
Two
Blitzars
shots.
took a gamble, almost got it. Risk versus reward, though. The foul sends Talia Tupaia to the line for 2. What do you think, girls? Do you gamble and try and get that steal, knowing that a foul sends her to the line?
No, I don't think any coach would be enforcing that kind of decision right now. Going for the steal, one allows them to penetrate, but at the same time, she sent them to the line for an easy 2 points to extend the lead.
Tupaia's sat for a long time, so big shot coming up here. The cream rises to the top, nothing but net. Not cold at all, just steps to the line and says whack.
She's a player who had to face a little bit of adversity coming back from an injury. She didn't start playing until around Christmas time.
Just cringing a little bit too
Yeah,
there.
she
I don't know
is.
whether she got a knock on that Novosel drive, but just a bit hampered.
We need the witch doctor Screeny to tell us what's happening out there.
Well, I wonder whether Novosel notices and tries to attack her off the dribble here if she's not moving as well. She doesn't look like she wants to slide. Novosel needs to get at the rim.
Yeah.
5 on the shot clock. Novosel does that.
Oh,
Big
tough
bucket,
shot.
Nat Novosel back to a 4-point game.
They really need to push up here on this defensive time and get a stop.
Yeah,
Leilani
they
Mitchell
definitely
looks
need to
like
get a
she's
stop.
just going for a
Clearly.
stroll in the park. Doesn't feel the pressure at all. Mitchell controlling the tempo for the Flames. 12 on the shot clock now. Mitchell curling off the screen. Big catch. 8 on the shot clock now. Mitchell assessing her options. Todd Hunter on an island. There's the on-ball. Mitchell triple.
Money.
Whack! Leilani Mitchell knocks it down with the Flames up by 7.
I just don't think that's the game plan. I don't think the game plan was ever go under with
Tough shot all the
Mitchell.
same.
I don't think Sarah Blitzars wanted to go to the bank and make a withdrawal on that one, but she'll take the triple. Big bucket to bring it back to a 4-point game now. Flames will have possession. 36 seconds to go.
There's still plenty of time,
We
mate.
talked before the game about Leilani Mitchell operating on the on-ball.
Yeah, look, I just don't think that. I think twice in a row now, I think that Todd Hunter's got a little bit lost in defence. Maybe she's tired, but it would never be the plan to go under on Leilani Mitchell, I would think. But the thing is, the post player, although the post player was stepping off, so maybe it was a plan, but she hit the screen. You know, you can't hit the screen. And if you hit the screen, there's got to be some sort of help there.
Hindsight's a beautiful thing, but I just wonder where the trap off the screen's been all game. When you played a lot in the WNBA, I think the thing you see least in the WNBA on the on-ball is the trap. A lot of show and recover you see. So Leilani hasn't played against a lot of trapping defence. I'd love to see the Rangers trying to trap off that on-ball, get it out of Leilani's hands, make someone else beat you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that Leilani does, though, you've got to remember, I mean, I like your idea of mixing it up defensively against her, and maybe next game we'll see how they defend the on-ball. It hasn't really hurt him too much till the last quarter, but I think definitely trapping is an option. There's a feast of options that you can do.
Credit to Jen Hampson, though. Great screen. Her timing was perfect.
I lost my thought there. I was going somewhere, sorry.
Jen Hampson came late, timed the screen,
Yeah.
so Todd Hunter didn't have time to know it was coming.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Mitchell is such a, she's such a good player too. So, I think throwing a trap at her now and then, mixing it up, giving her different looks at how you're going to defend the on-ball would be a really good thing with trapping being involved in it.
Let's talk more later, Jenny Screen. What did you hear during the timeout?
2-possession game from Cheryl Chambers. She wants them to use the clock, try and draw a foul if possible. Mitchell, even though she hit that 3, limping a little bit, getting a calf stretch on the sideline.
The Rangers obviously instructed a foul. They do that by Todd
Probably
Hunter.
not the one you want to foul, though.
Belinda Snell has been here before.
what is she, about an 88% free throw shooter or something like that?
For her career. Probably not the person you want to foul.
Can shoot the basketball, has done it on the big stage all over the world. Did it here 16 years ago to win the championship for the Sydney Uni Flames.
Well, she's been good. I suppose she didn't get a bigger round of applause from the fans.
Smart sub. Well, she might be back at the offensive end, but just defensive sub from Chambers make it the Rangers unable to exploit her lack of pace. Belinda Snell makes no mistake on both of them. 6-point game, 34 seconds to go.
She comes back in now, you think?
No, she won't come in now. The Rangers have got the ball. It's
sorry.
Offense,
I thought they were going offensive the other end. Yeah, my bad.
We go to a timeout again. Continue that conversation on the on-ball. My only thing is, Leilani is so hard to stop. The only weakness she has is she's the shortest girl on the floor. So if you can double her, it's hard for her to pass over that length, and you make someone else beat you.
Absolutely. You give her. You want to see how she's going to defend that, but I think that trapping is something you probably don't want to do overly on her because she does have such good skills. I mean, you want to see how she's going to handle it, see what hurts her the most out of all the different ways you're going to defend her, but the thing that she does really well is she can split players so well because the fact she is so small, mate.
She's so fast.
She can split the defenders. So, but yeah, definitely that's another way you'd look at defending that on ball with her is trapping. Give her a look at clearly going under is not a great idea, against her because she does shoot the perimeter shot so well. But if it's way under the unless it's way out, you're not going to go under. So if they set it, a metre outside the 3-point line, that's when you go under an on-ball screen.
And Timsy, we did say at the start of the quarter, so hard to pick, and it may be which team has the best player on the floor. Has Leilani Mitchell been the best player on the floor in this last quarter? Hence, we see the Flames up 6 with 34 to go.
Are you asking me, has she been the best player on the
floor
tonight?
In the last quarter?
Yeah.
For the last quarter?
Yeah. Well, definitely the last 5 minutes.
She's been so good controlling the tempo. Jenny Scream, what did you get during the timeout?
Larissa's expecting that Sydney are going to switch everything. They're trying to go to blitz-ups on the wing or in the post, depending on what the execution is defensively.
Flames staying with a man. The crowd here in Sydney up and about, they know how important a game one win is. They do get blitz-ups in the post. Malott with the pop off the pick. Big rebound, Leilani Mitchell. That makes it very difficult for the Rangers from here. Great look they got for Ali Malott. She's been sitting for a while, though, not able to knock the triple.
Dandenong, it's definitely not over. There's still a lot of legs in this game. But Dandenong, they would have thought it was going to be pretty tough to win up here. I think they won't be happy, don't get me wrong. But they'll be happy if they can keep it a close margin. Going back on their home court, they're very tough to beat on their home court. I
think the Rangers, as Leilani shoots too, I think the Rangers showed that they're well and truly capable of bouncing back in a game. When someone goes and rolls on you for 41 and blows you out on their home floor, as Perth did in Game 2, I thought the Rangers showed a lot of heart, a lot of guts to come back and get it done in Game 3 to win through here. Let's see if they can still compete here in Game 1. Clydesdale pushes
Great hands there by Mitchell. And throws a cheeky smile to go with it.
Cheeky smile. Larissa Anderson thought a cheeky extra step as well. No call coming though. And it's party time now for the Sydney fans. 9-point lead, 10 seconds to go. This one's over. The Flames fans are on their feet.
Yep.
They're going to take out Game 1.
Wow.
Sydney have got it done on their home floor. Make it 11 wins in a row. 91-82. Sydney Uni Flames winning Game 1. We go back for Game 2 at Melbourne Dandenong Stadium Friday night, 7:30. That one will tip off. Dandenong needing to get the win to stay in the series in Game 2. What do you make of it, Michelle Timms?
Well, Mitchell, like you said, there's a couple of players from Sydney that I thought came home big for him. Hampson, Mitchell rose towards the end. I tell you what, 91-82 though, it wasn't a 91-82 ball game as it stands. And as I said before, I think Dandenong, like you said, Nate, they bounced back from things pretty well like they did the other week against Perth. And I think they'll make a couple of adjustments. It was really only the last quarter where things started going skewy for them. But credit to Sydney, they live up to their reputation that they have of
they came in the game. A lot of people talking about them as favourites. As we talked during that timeout, whether Leilani Mitchell was the best on the floor, in the fourth quarter. She comes out after timeout, makes 2 big plays, especially picking the pocket there to finish the game. But a sign of whether you think the Rangers can bounce back, I think a big reason why you see the Sydney Uni Flames and the Dandenong Rangers in the final is both teams love playing with each other. The game's over not less than a couple of minutes. You've seen the Ranger girls smiling, down to business and they're worn down. They know that there's a big game coming up in 6 days' time in Dandenong, and they know that they need to be ready to bounce back in game 2. Yeah. What adjustments, Michelle Timms, do you think the Rangers need to make to get it done in game 2?
Well, I think they fell into their own habit at certain times in the last quarter of going away from what they were doing well. So after half-time, they did a great job. And even before half-time, they did a great job.
And Tim's, I'm going to cut you off there because Jenny screens over there with her girl, Alex Wilson.
Oh, her girl.
Thanks, Nathan. I have with me Alex Wilson from the Brighton Sydney Uni Flames. Great game individually and collectively. What thoughts now going into game 2? Now, game 2 must be on your mind.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll enjoy this for a little bit. We played well tonight, but yeah, our focus will go straight to Friday night and get this done in 2, hopefully.
Were you expecting Dandenong to come out so strong and to be such a close game?
Yeah, we know what they can bring, and we knew that they were going to bring a lot of intensity and energy, and they played really well tonight, so we sort of expected that from them, and they'll bring that again in game 2.
Now, I've seen you play twice now, and I've had the privilege of commentating, and I've been impressed with how you've excelled in the last couple of years. Can you attribute that to anything? Being here in Sydney, Cheryl, training with the veterans like Linda Snell, what has made your game blossom?
Yeah, thanks. Means a lot. Definitely Cheryl. I love Cheryl. I've had her before as a coach, and I think she brings out the best in me. Playing with the likes of Leilani and Belinda Snell as well. I mean, they're great players. They're great people. So I guess it's all a bit of everything.
And also, defensively, you guys struggled a little bit in that first half. Was there any message or at halftime that Cheryl wanted to get going in the second half with you guys?
That's basically all Cheryl had to say at half-time was get your shit together on defence. We can obviously score. Sorry. We can obviously score without no worries at all, but it comes down to getting the stops defensively.
Well, thank you, Ali Wilson. It was a great game. 22 points for you. Uninjured form. Great form from Leilani down the stretch. Wishing you all the luck for game 2.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we don't swear next time.
Oh, sorry.
Live streaming.
Stop.
Over to you, Nathan. Thank you.
Queenie over there catching up with Alex Wilson. It's been great to have so many people tuning in tonight and hitting us up via the Facebook live stream.
Nice.
Also coming in via Twitter. We heard from Lauren Jackson. We heard from Mark Worthington. And my 74-year-old father, Rob Stremple, just gave me a shout out via Facebook. So thanks, Big Robbie, for tuning in. Michelle Timms, you're just scribbling down some notes there. As you've had a moment to think about it, what are some of your thoughts on the numbers and how the game played out?
Yeah, well, just running down the stat sheets for the folks at home who don't have access to the stats. You know, Wilson, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. She just played just showed great maturity as a player tonight. Blicav's down the other end at 25 points, 8 boards, 60% from the three-point line for Blicavs. Who else on the score sheet? Had 16 for Steph Cummings. She came to life in the second half, along with her 6 assists. And if we have a look at Todd Hunter's line, she had 4 rebounds, 6 assists. And, yeah, I don't know why we went to Todd Hunter. Her line's not that great, to be honest, but she did a good job for 3/4 of the game, I think, defensively. And she came up with those boards as well.
But I think statistics only tell you a few things. There are a lot of players that play roles that don't come up statistically, that are just as valuable, just as important.
Especially her.
Absolutely. So not taking anything away from the stat lines and stuff. Alex Wilson had the opportunity just to speak to her. Defense was the suggestion that was made by Chambers at halftime, and they did come out better in the second half in terms of locking it down. Game 2, they're trying to lock it away in Dandenong, in 2, hopefully. And they've had great contributions. Leilani Mitchell pulled up a little bit sore there, just making an observation on that 3. In the last time out was getting some treatment and assistance from the physio. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays in game 2 at all.
6-day turnaround, bit of travel to Paya. We saw also limping a little bit. I'm sure the Rangers will be sore as well. Amelia Toldana doing a lot that doesn't show up in the stat sheet.
Right.
And as we wrap up the game, ladies, we talked beforehand about the keys to the game. Michelle Timms, Jenny Screen, you both had your expert insights in terms of three keys to the game. I actually think it's a case that both teams executed their keys. I don't think Dandenong sit there and go, we didn't get the transition we wanted. They maybe had a couple of lapses on Leilani Mitchell, but it's very hard to keep her quiet for the whole game. So you saw Dandenong getting what they want. They saw Blitzars back in the game. They went to Novacell, as you talked about. Jacinta Kennedy, key mittens off the bench. Same with Nat Novacell. Even Fadlovic gave them some great stuff. So it's not like Dandenong go, well, we didn't execute our keys to the game. Sydney perhaps just did it a little bit better in the class of Leilani Mitchell, and also the no fear and the confidence of Alex Wilson, who a few weeks ago got the nod from her coach. Cheryl James said, we believe in you. She comes out for 27 in game one of the semis. She has 22 tonight, and it's a case that just the Flames just a little bit too good.
Yeah, look, I really can't pinpoint anything except defence in the first half in terms of both one-on-one defence, being accountable to the player that you're defending and sticking to the scout, and also collectively as a team as well in the defensive aspect of the game. But other than that, I really can't say. You know, everything was equal statistically, and they had great contributors, both teams.
I think that Dandenong had possibly what's been a little bit of a problem for them at times throughout the year, and that is had a couple of little mental lapses, you know, and that might come with the young group, even though there's a lot of experience in that group. If you look at the amount of games they've played, it still comes with a little inexperience in the mental side of the game. So, and that's something that they were really conscious of after game 2 in Perth, getting that done game 3, sticking with their game plan. So I think down the stretch in the clutch in this last quarter, they had a few lapses defensively and offensively, taking a few bad shots instead of working the ball around. So a couple of mental lapses that if they can put the whole game together, stay on the playing the moment after moment, instead of having those lapses, we can see a turnaround. I mean, it's possible. Like Greeny said, there wasn't much between these two, and Dandenong are very tough to beat at home, especially after this game they just played. They showed that they can stick with them.
During the season, Dandenong put Sydney to the sword at home. They did it twice in the semi-finals, put Perth to the sword convincingly at home. They're going to go back there Friday night, 6 days' time. Final thought for you guys, Friday, 7:30 p.m. tip-off at Dandenong Stadium.
Well, I'm hoping as many Melburbians and Sydneyan fans can get there to watch this great game of women's basketball, game 2. Winner takes all if Sydney win. Hopefully Dandenong can regroup, watch some video tomorrow, get some great recovery in, and bring their A game on Friday.
Final thought for you, Timsy, ahead of game 2 coming up in 6 days' time at Dandenong.
Final thought. I'm going to wait to even chat about it. I want to see who comes up. Let's see Leilani Mitchell. Let's see if that's an injury or whatever. But I'm just looking forward to it. I can't wait already. But I know these girls are looking for getting into some ice baths and heading home and regrouping, like you said, because you know they're a really good team at bouncing back the Rangers. So let's fill out the Ranger Dome on Friday night and bring it on.
Heck of a game to watch, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. If you are anywhere near Dandenong Stadium, start travelling there. You've got 6 days to make your way to get there. Get along, fill that place on Friday night, because you are seeing world-class basketball between the Brighton Sydney Uni Flames and the Dandenong Jayco Rangers. And for those of you who can't make it to Dandenong Friday night, we'll be back here via the WNBL Facebook page. I'm Nathan Stremple. Thank you for joining me, Michelle Timms and Jenny Screen. And thank you for tuning in, folks. We'll see you again Friday night.